What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest edition of the Fragcast. My name is James Cloud, and as always, I am joined by the main man, Ace of Death. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good, man. What's up, guys? As you can see, this is our first video version of the Fragcast. I'm pretty
Yes,
excited about this.
it looks amazing.
I think it
Good
looks
job.
pretty good. It's gonna look better though. It's gonna be pretty professional looking here in a couple days.
That's the goal.
But today we're gonna talk about the Halo Reach movement, as it's been said. There's a big movement out there right now, supposedly within the Halo community and the gaming community, to try to keep it on the circuit. And you know, James played Halo and went to an event for Halo and a couple events for Halo, and I've been a fan of Halo since back in Halo 2, so I feel like it should be there, but I don't know. But we're gonna talk about that today and talk about what it needs to do to be on the circuit and stay on the circuit, and then how it relates to other games possibly. We'll see about how we go, but we'll start off with the title update. So James, have you played any games with the new title update, or?
I have not. I still haven't played with No Bloom, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm gonna have to hop on at some point and experience it. But
We'll
what
have to
about you?
smack kids.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
What
fun.
about you? Have you played?
I've played a bunch of games. Actually, I've been playing with Simplex and Baby Cakes and a couple other
Mac
people.
the Shag.
And Mark the Shark, of course. And we've been playing on there, and it's fun. It's a different game, man. It doesn't
Right.
feel like Halo Reach anymore. It's a different game.
Now, does it feel does it feel like any of the other Halos in particular? Like, do you play it and immediately think, "Wow, this feels like Halo 3 or Halo"? Like, is there anything like that, or is it kind of something also?
Well, when you play No Bloom No Sprint, it definitely feels a little bit more Halo 2, Halo 3-ish.
Right.
But the problem is the DMR still sucks. I mean, it's like unbelievably
Naturally.
powerful, but I hate single shot guns. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't mind burst guns like the BR. I really don't, but
Mm-hmm.
because it has a rhythm to it. But the DMR, you can spam the shit out of the DMR and it doesn't matter. And
That's a rhythm by itself.
yeah,
Just as fast as you can.
yeah. Well, I know, but when you're using the DMR with no bloom, you can just spam the shit out of it because there's no bloom, so it doesn't go
Yeah.
anywhere and there's no recoil.
That's
So it's-
actually I was gonna ask. Do people just get erased from the earth immediately?
oh
With
yeah, you die so fast.
no-
You die so fast. It's like unbelievable.
Wow.
And the guns they're fun. I mean, it's a fun game, but it's more positional based now.
Right.
It's not a lot of challenging. It's like if you can sit in a corner, you can kill somebody in 5 shots across the map.
That sounds familiar.
I think they should downplay the pull the damage down a little bit and make it a couple more shots. But that's just me.
I mean, you would have thought they would have done something with the DMR as far as because I mean the game was designed for you to not be able to spam because of the bloom. You think they would have done something with the cadence of the weapon?
Yeah, you would think, but I think they just go, okay, everyone wants no bloom. Okay, let's put it out. Woo! And they didn't even think about it. It's like
Makes too much sense to do something about it
what the
instead of
hell?
just, you know.
You know what I mean? And oh yeah, the Magnum is unbelievable right now
Nice.
because.
That's what I like to hear.
But you know how the Magnum was like a 4-shot gun or something like that before.
5
It was
shots.
a
It's
5
the
shot.
same as the DMR. It just didn't have the range.
Yeah, well now it's like it's got no bloom and the thing can shoot like tick 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 tick. So if you're up close, you're dead. It's like it doesn't even
Pretty awful.
matter. It sounds awesome, but it's not
No,
awesome when you play with
That sounds awful.
it. It's awful. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, from everything I've heard from like the Halo community and people that are very adamant about the game, it seems like the situation with Reach right now is kind of like it is what it is, and just at this point gearing up for
Yeah.
Halo 4. So I guess maybe that's kind of like the mindset that they're, you know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna. I mean, if you've been even looking at it, like they've got like the Halo Council now, which is Gandhi's thing,
Right.
and him and a whole bunch of pros are like talking about what Halo needs and shit, and that's great. But they haven't been doing that for the last 2 years when they've really
Right.
needed it. So it's kind of I guess better late than never, but it's still kind of.
But that's where I get that from because I heard D-Max say specifically like we just pretty much have to survive for another year, and Halo 4 is gonna fix everything.
Yeah.
So I guess just everybody's thinking that.
I
Just
guess.
let's make do with Reach for now,
Yeah.
as is, and you know.
I guess. I mean, you can look at it like that, but I think that if they just have another shitty year, I don't even know if they'll bother with Halo 4.
Right.
I mean,
Well, I mean, even with the game as is, to keep it from having a shitty year, like everybody just has to be like active. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
can't do anything about the game, but they can do things out of the game.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, it's kind of like I don't know. We'll kind of move on, I guess to whether it'll be on the circuit next year. 'Cause that's kind of where we're going. It's
Right.
I don't see the game as being a main title on the circuit next year, just from the standpoint of Halo Reach is awful, and I don't think they could sell any passes to go to the game. Like,
Right.
I mean, I don't even think they could fill a quarter of an open bracket anymore. They couldn't at nationals. I think they
Is
sold
that
like
how it was at
I
Providence?
think they sold like 60 passes or something like that,
Yeah. See,
and that's including all the pro teams. I think
right.
so. That's terrible. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I mean, that's like Gears of War 2 numbers. You know what I mean? So uh,
Way to put things into perspective.
I know that. Well, it's true though. It's true. I mean, you know, it's bad now, and I feel bad for
Right.
the Halo community, but you know, I don't feel like MLG would put any money behind it anymore. They're not going to give them a stage anymore. What's the point?
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was the bottom stream at Providence. Like, it had the worst numbers of any of the streams, which is terrible. It's Halo. It should have better numbers than that.
Well, Halo's kind of been. I mean, there's some people that really, really liked Halo 3, but for the most part, the Halo 2 was massive because it was Halo 2.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people left for Halo 3.
Yeah.
And then the people that came for Halo 3 and they're like, "Oh, Halo 3 is awesome. I love the game." And now they hate Reach. Like there was a whole generation of people before them that did that same thing. And there was much more of them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't help it though if there's only 30 teams competing. I mean, I guess it's to the point where it's like the Halo pros are so far ahead of everybody else. Basically, there's like the Halo pros,
There's
the
a
like
huge
the
skill
4
gap.
through 8 pros, and then like the people that are like the rest of the top 32 are kind of like there, but really can't
Yeah.
like be expected to beat any of those top players.
There
And
is
everybody
just-
else will get slapped by
There
any of
is
those people.
there is a giant skill gap in Halo anymore.
Right.
Like, those teams who are really good are just really good, and the rest of the teams just are kind of there to fill space. And
Pretty much.
I mean, it's awful that that happens, but you know, it's what it is. It is what it is. You know, I mean, I feel like from a perspective, I was one of those people who absolutely loved Halo 3. I loved watching it. I loved playing it, even though I wasn't very good at it. Like, I could hold my own. Like, I got, you know, I was like a mid 40s player in MLG playlist. I wasn't a 50 or anything, but you know, like, I could hold my own. But I hated Reach when it came out. It was terrible.
Mhm.
And so I just stopped playing. I was like, what the hell's the point of playing this game? It's terrible. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Bloom was like
Right.
the biggest fail that I've ever seen in a video game. You know what I mean? It really was. Like, you think about it, how big was the community in Halo 3 at the end, especially? Like, and like, think when Straight Rippin won the national championship? That was huge.
Right.
Their community was friggin' thriving. And then
That's very true.
and then Halo 3 kind of, it plateaued. It was still climbing a little bit. And then when Halo Reach came out, it just went straight down into the pooper.
See, I think also an issue is, I mean, if you think about it in Halo 2, there was always Final Boss, there was always Carbon. You knew no matter what, every single event near
Yeah.
the second half of Halo 2 was going to come down to one of those teams. And that was huge for fans of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was like the first time that I feel like there were legitimate fans of, like, you know, gaming teams, on the console side at least.
Yeah.
Like, people were legitimately very cared about the outcome of those tournaments.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, in Halo 3, you had Straight Rippin was really good early on, struggled a little bit, and then got themselves back together for the last few events and just dominated.
Yeah.
And they're really, I mean, you see Instinct getting busy as much as they have. I just don't know where that disconnect is, where everybody is so crazy about the Carbon, the final boss of Straight Rippin, and then the Instinct comes in. They're winning every event. I mean, they lost a few and then picked it up at the Nationals, but it's really not as... It's not selling tickets the way it used to.
It's star power, man.
Yeah.
It's star
But,
power.
I mean, you'd think
Look at-
Instinct would have more or just as much star power as before. You know, those players that came before.
If you look at it, Instinct has Ogre 2, which you would think would be the big person to bring the star power, right?
Right. The person to bring for
Yeah,
star
you
power.
think that would be. But when you look at Final Boss from back in the day with like Halo 2, who was the person that everyone thought was the shit?
Walshy.
Walsh. It wasn't
Right.
Ogre 2. It wasn't the Ogres. Like, they were like, oh my gosh, the Ogres are amazing. But everybody went to Walsh first. Walsh
Right.
was the first one they talked to in the interviews. Walsh was the first person they did everything with.
That's
And he
absolutely
was the
true.
most personable. Ogre 2 was never that person. So the fact that Ogre 2 is trying to be Instinct's, you know, celebrity, supposedly, it'll never work.
Is he
Whatever.
trying, though? Or is it that just, you know, like, my point is I don't think there's anybody stepping up.
That's true.
And somebody from that team should be stepping up. They love that Pistola kid.
Yeah, but
That kid,
but
he's
Do you
He's an
think
awesome dude.
he's a monster in the game? But do you think he's worth putting out there in the community? Is like,
Yeah, have you seen that kid at events? He's like just this quirky little dude, yo. Like he'll be dancing
yeah. But
just
would you
randomly.
put that kid on the news?
Yes, he's disgustingly good. He's young. He's not like a scumbag.
That's true. But could you
Yeah,
put him in front of the camera and talk to him and think he's professional? Like, I don't think that would happen.
it
That's
doesn't
something.
matter. He'd be entertaining
Yeah, but
if he
that
wanted
does
to.
matter though. In this grand scheme of things, from a perspective and getting fans to really like the game and support you, especially the older audience, which is what the Halo audience is now.
Right.
The
Yeah, I
older
can see
audience is the
that.
Halo audience, and they respect. They're not going to take a kid, who's been, screwing around in the game. And I mean, obviously he's a kid. He acts like a kid, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But do you think that someone will take him seriously? See, I
But
don't take him seriously. I looked at Walsh and someone and like T Squared and stuff like that. I look at them as a serious gamer and a serious person. So I think that there's someone who could be a face of the team. Look, T Square has sucked the last couple of years. He's been terrible. Ever since he won the national championship, it's been all downhill for him. And he's had a
Mhm.
couple good placings in there here and there, and he's played well sometimes, but only gotten bigger.
right.
He's only
That's
gotten
true.
bigger.
He's
I
one
mean,
person who's definitely, regardless of how the game is, he's going to be doing all right.
yeah. I mean, and it's all because of how he presents himself to the community and how he acts.
But I think, I mean, I think an entertainment value for the community at large is worth much more than just straight professionalism. I see what you're saying about, people maybe our age, maybe older, the OGs, they want to see like somebody professional, but people in general want to be entertained, and I think
I
that
agree.
that kid could be very entertaining.
I think
It's
that
just a matter of stepping up.
yeah, I agree with you completely, and I think he could do it. He just has to act more. He has to have both sides of himself. You know what I mean? He
Right.
has to have the professional side and the fun, little kid side. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm serious. Look at like StarCraft 2. Some of those people, like EGN Control, he's great in front of a camera, and he's a good player, but he's like not going out and winning every world championship. You know what I mean?
Ooh, no.
But you want to talk to him in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like,
I gotcha.
like Huck and Hydra, they're great in front of a camera. But like,
Naturally.
look at what like Naniwa does. He's a fantastic player, but he says
Says
like
3 words.
he says like 3 words on an interview, and that's it. But okay, so let's get back on topic here. So, do you think that the game will be on the circuit next year?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed. I don't see how it can't be, but at the same time, I kind of felt similar about Gears of War 2 when the Nationals ended for the year that Gears 2 was on. You kind of just felt that the game was done.
Yeah.
It was just struggling so hard its last few events. I don't think MLG would pull the plug on Halo that quick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of factors in play, but yeah, I think we'll see it. I mean,
In what
I don't
capacity?
know. I don't think it's going to be like anything it's used to seeing in the past, but I mean, I don't think it'll be like a side event like a Mortal Kombat or anything just straight disrespectful, you know?
Yeah. See, I think that it'll be a Sundance actually yesterday said on Julie's show that he's going to have 4 main events. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Only 4 big events compared to 6 this year. But they're going to be huge.
Interesting.
But they're going to be huge events, and obviously they're revamping. I think he's going to do more of a season schedule type thing. So I can see
Right.
it being like a secondary game during a season. You know what I mean? Like, let's say Call of Duty is in one season and they have a break season, then Halo will come in, so it'll fill the shooter space within a break.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I can see it being like a secondary game to like StarCraft or something within a season. But I
Right.
don't. It will never be that primary game. Halo Reach at least won't. I hope Halo 4 will, but it's like
Therefore, they really just got to get back to what, made Halo. I mean, you look at that, if there really is only going to be 4 games, all right, StarCraft is without a doubt one of those.
yeah,
You have to assume that Call of Duty is going to be another one just because, I mean,
it has lots of support.
regardless of what sort of gameplay shortcomings Call of Duty has, there's more money in that game than any other game. There's more people
Exactly.
playing it, so as much as we
that
may,
community is so much. It's growing by leaps and bounds. Even
it's
if
a horde,
it,
and it's
it
like
is.
and it's like you can't even hate on it either because it's bringing people into gaming. I mean, these people
know.
that like never played a game before in their lives and then picked up COD 4 and they've played every Call of Duty like since religiously.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where you need something new. So eventually, those people who are like those scumbag Steves that are noob tubing people from across the maps or just
You would
being
think, but it's been a
scumbags,
couple
eventually there
years,
could
and
be
there's.
good games.
You would think, but it's been a couple years, and they still haven't changed.
Well, no, those are just new people coming in. I guarantee you, those people who started with like some of the older Call
Oh,
of
I know,
Duties, they were
yeah.
part of the first wave of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who didn't game,
Oh,
but now
for sure.
game. They're
sure.
playing other games now,
sure.
and everybody will eventually. I think it's a good thing, but for right now, I mean, it's kind of sad that
For sure.
you shoot people 3 times in the leg, and
Honestly, I think there's going to be probably 4 primary games next year, and I
oh
don't
yeah,
know.
Sundance tell you that?
No, but I just that's what I think.
I'm
I
just
just think
joking
I
because we
think
just
there
said that.
I think there will be 4 games next year, and it's kind of hinted that that's what he wants. That's kind
Right.
of been what they're saying, and they got Call of Duty and StarCraft, and then the
If
other
there's
and League is going to be in there because we're
yeah.
partnering up with Riot hard, and he said that in Providence, right when they switched on the stream, they got 90,000 people to watch the stream for
Yeah,
League.
don't underestimate the just mass appeal of League. I don't really understand it, but
League is just crazy massive, and I
right.
get it. I mean, it's a free to play game and it's fun and it's a good game, so
hmm
it's worth putting on there. But that's 3 games. So what the fourth slot is going to be what?
Halo or Gears is it's looking like
I
maybe a
know.
fighting game. I mean, if you have to, if there's only going to be 4 games, at least 2 of those are going to be PC. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
I don't know. Somebody's going to be on the chopping block one way or another,
yeah. And honestly, if you look at it, I hope from a personal standpoint, I hope that Gears gets the spot, and I know that you do. But
right?
from my perspective, if you watch a Halo stream and watch a Gears stream, the level of gameplay on the Gears streams and the community base from a competitive standpoint is really evolving and growing, rapidly. Whereas the Halo space, I know that they've got this title hype, and that's what we've been talking about, but I don't feel like it's been growing at all, and I can see
Gotcha.
that being the argument.
Right. And that's something that's definitely Gears has going for it is that Gears is gonna in 2 months Gears of War 3 is gonna be completely different.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's just the way the game works. Like the strategies that you're seeing from teams right now are gonna be obsolete,
yeah,
and somebody's gonna come in and change the metagame, and then everybody's gonna jump on board, do the same thing, and it's just gonna be that over and over again. So that's something good for Gears. Whereas Halo is more of a just moment to moment type thing.
yeah, for sure. I think that that's something that's going, heavily in Gears' favor. And obviously, everything that Halo is doing, whether it be the Halo Council or their tournaments or all their content they're trying to put out and stuff,
hmm
to be honest, they are kind of following in what Gears has done already, its footsteps. You know what I mean? Like this, a lot of the stuff, like Hypefestation and like these local tournaments and pushing Gears out everywhere from certain people has been what has pushed Gears into the limelight again.
Right.
And Halo is like, oh, that's a great model. We should do that. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but you're just copying what Gears did. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. I feel like their main push is like, oh yeah, we all got to be putting out YouTube videos all the time.
Right.
Well, great, but you're putting out YouTube videos. How is that going to really grow your community and make your
Yeah.
community
Nobody wants to
evolve?
play the game. Why would they want to watch videos of the game?
I know, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Well.
if they want to be in Hypefestation or do something like that, that's fine. But if they're gonna be in Hypefestation, like there was rumors of that, and there have been talking about that, and if they let's say they put a side event on Hypefestation for just Halo, like
hmm
Hype 3 or whatever it would be,
hmm
it would still be a side event.
Right.
Two
Yeah,
Gears.
they're getting the shaft no matter what.
It would be a side event to Gears, which is their game they're competing against. Like
Yeah.
they're like, I don't know.
I mean, if it comes down to that, and we both of our communities get scumbag, like why not join together and try to figure it out?
Oh, I
But
agree.
I do want to the Gears movement, which was really it was the original movement. I guess the word movement has been attached to this whole Halo thing. That's fine, whatever. It's not like we wrote the word, but the thing that really happened with Gears that turned everything around for Gears. And before anything else happened, before Epic was really on board with the people who played competitively, well, actually, that happened earlier than most people think because the guys from ZYN were really proactive with that. But basically, a whole bunch of people from the community sat down and, with nothing else but just like love for the game, with wanting to see the game succeed, with wanting to do what we could, everybody sat down, put aside all their differences, all the petty shit, and was just like, let's make this happen the best way we can. And that starts with doing this. Let's start a website. Then we'll start making videos. Then we're going to hype the shit. Because we did this right before Gears 3 came out. So
Yeah.
we could hype Gears 3. We could get everybody excited before the game was even out. Like, we were doing show matches on Gears of War 2, like weeks before
Yeah.
Gears 3 was even out.
And people were
And it was
starting to get into it again.
yeah, and that's really that's what it was. People were into it, and they were into it not because it was like, all right, I have to grind because I want to beat these kids at a tournament because I want more Twitter followers or I want people to say I'm good on forums. It was,
Yeah.
I really like this game. We all really like this game. Let's do what we can. And I can't stress enough. The biggest thing was like everybody's like little judgments about everybody else. like the clicks, they kind of vanished. Like
Yeah.
everybody got on the same page,
I mean, that's
and
great.
good things happened once that happened. I
Yeah.
mean, we can't really take credit. No one person can take credit for the fact that Epic put in, like, spectator or whatever. That was like the community. The community
Yeah.
decided beforehand that we were gonna love and play this game no matter what happened. So that's really the biggest thing. If you're sitting down, you're like, I need to save Halo because then I'll be irrelevant if there's no more Halo. Like, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's just not how. That's not the way the cookie crumbles usually.
I look
It's
at it.
gotta be love.
I look at one thing that is a pretty big example. Epic has put in a lot of time to try to make Gears competitive. They
Right.
really have.
Hmm.
They've really put in a lot of time and work, and it's already been out there in the public that MLG is trying to work with Epic to get the game to where they wanted to be and make sure that it, is a competitive title. And it's been out there, saying other things, but uh, look at what's happened to Halo. It took this long just to get No Bloom.
Right. And I mean, that's from what I understand. I guess Bungie kind of just jumped ship. Like when they were done, they were done. You know.
Yeah, and you know what? And what's the worst part? If you go play MLG playlist, it's still the same shit that it was.
Right.
What made Halo 3 so popular with a lot of people is trying to get your 50. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like working your
Yep.
way up and ranking up. And it's like it was a true skill rank. So like if you lost games, you lost your rank. This game, it takes me 5 games to find a real 4v4 to play all the way through.
Right.
Like
Yep.
seriously? It shouldn't
That
be
is
that
another
hard.
awful, awful thing. Like I remember when I was playing Reach like competitively, like if they came out with the new MLG playlist or like an update for it or something, and like something was wrong, it was just the worst thing. Knowing like, oh my god, it's gonna be like a month or two until they fix
I
like
know.
this stupid little glitch. And it's like the ranks, the fact that there was no ranks in that game for MLG probably really ruined the game for
Ruined
MLG.
it. It
Because what
ruined it.
happened is these kids like Johnny Bomber 57 and his boy Big Tomato were getting smacked by like pros, teams of 4. When they
Yeah.
just went in with the 2 of them to have some fun, they get matched up with like Johnny Bomber
Yeah.
and just get dominated.
get smashed.
Nobody
It's
wants
like-
to do that. There's no
it's-
progression. There's no
Yeah.
getting better.
It's
It's just getting
stupid.
goosed 8 times in a row.
Yeah. And then and it's like if you're someone like myself who is I'm a middle of the road player, you know what I mean? And so I can go play against really good people sometimes and get the shit kicked out of me and make me
Yep.
want to quit the game. And then on the other standpoint, on the next game I'll play with somebody who's like friggin' 0-18 and is terrible. And I'm like, this game's been out for over a year and you're still terrible.
Yeah,
But-
nothing good at all going for it. in
But
that regard.
it ruins the game for me because I get pissed off because I'm playing with someone terrible and then I play against really good teams. There's no middle ground. The best
Mhm.
part about Halo 3 for me was that I played with people that were around my skill level.
Right.
You'd occasionally
Consistently.
get those people who were boosting and stuff like that. But that's fine. That happens in a rank with ranks. But most of the time, you get people who are around your skill level. So you were playing with people who you were the right, matched up. You should have been matched up
Right.
properly with.
And you felt yourself getting better like after a few weeks. There was a progression. There was structure. It wasn't just
It was great.
domination.
I miss Halo 3. Maybe I'll go back and play it.
You do that, bud.
So-
I want nothing to do with that. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I think that's just about wraps it up for our Halo episode. We covered just about everything. I hope you guys like the new video format. Let us know what you think.
Well, let's one last question I want to pose to you. What can they do from here on out? Halo. What can Halo do to save itself?
What can Halo do?
Like just, a few sentences. Nothing like
Be
an
original.
essay.
Be original.
Okay.
Find things and make things happen within your own community. Don't try to. I think the biggest thing that I've heard from them so far is, we got to keep streaming. We got to keep getting YouTube videos out. And, like, that's great. But what are you doing for your community, really?
Right.
You're just, like, pushing people out there and pushing content out, which is great. But if your content is just the same old freaking content that you've been pushing out forever with no originality attached to it, there's nothing there for the community to latch onto and really approach.
Yeah, who wants to, like we said earlier, who wants to watch that? Nobody wants to play the game. Would you rather watch a game than play it if it's awful?
Yeah,
I think
I
what
mean,
Halo needs to do, what they are doing, is we need to be seeing more of those OGs, man. Like the Nexys, the D-Max, the Gandhis, the Best Mans. The Best Man still plays, but like people that have been around forever since at least 2006 for Halo 2,
Yep.
preferably like, before that, but those people need to be the voices. Those people need to be the most visible people in that community. Those are by far the most entertaining. Those are the
Agreed.
people that set the way. Like Halo is really kind of like there's some so many like dry, sarcastic, hilarious personalities that play or have played that game. And those need to be like the people at the forefront.
Yep. I
So
agree.
glad to see that. I like what's going on with the Halo Council. Well, it's one of the few things that happens like weekly that I'm like, I really want to watch this.
Yeah, that's the
I don't
one
even play
thing.
the game.
That's the most original thing they've done, and I think it's great what they're doing. That's
Hmm.
honestly the best thing that they have going for them because it's bringing attention to their community and helping grow it and get back some of the people that they had before, which is
100%.
honestly what they need to do. And they need to get
100%.
more content like that.
Hmm.
All right. So, I hope you enjoyed the new video episode of the Fragcast. There'll be more of these.
Yeah.
Every episode's going to be like this from now on. We're trying to push more
Yeah.
content out from the FragDojo, obviously. That's video content, multimedia content. So we're stepping our game up. I hope you like it. If you enjoyed it, please comment, like, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Go to the website, sign up if you haven't already, comment on our forums, check out our live stream, twitch.tv
Just
slash
show some love,
fragdojo.
son.
Show some love everywhere. Our Twitters are down below our images here on the thing, so make sure you give us a follow. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.